At this point, we've gotten pretty comfortable with working with Android Studio. We know our way through the menuing system. We've memorized some hotkeys to help us get through the interface more quickly and make modifications and create methods and so forth. We know how to configure settings. We know how to create some basic views and add widgets and so forth. But now we want to run our app and we want to be able to find out where there are errors. Android Studio provides an excellent environment for debugging, finding mistakes, and walking us through how to fix them. When we want to debug, we have the option of selecting the debug player through the menuing system. We can select the debug icon here, or as you can see, there's a Shift F9 hotkey combination that activates the debugger. So let's click on the debugger and then go to our virtual device. Now currently we're debugging. If we have reasons to inspect our code, something's not working right, or we just want to make sure things are working as we expect them to, we'd probably want to set a breakpoint. And to do that, we'll come to the code we want to inspect, expanding our code blocks with a Control+ hotkey combination. Because in this case, my code is so short, I can get right to what I want to look at quickly and I can see where I might want to inspect. I suspect there might be an issue with calculate sum, but I'm not sure. So I would like to have a breakpoint here. All I need to do is put my cursor to the left in the gray area here, click it, and you'll see a pink dot highlighting the line. That's the point the debugger will stop executing the code. To make sure this gets called, let's go back up to the caller that was from our activity main. We have it on click event. We look for our button. There it is. Calculate sum. That's our on click listener that we've defined. So it's looking for a method called calculate sum. Go back to main activity. Calculate sum is the one I have selected here. What we're expecting is the debugger to stop here when we run through our code. Let's try that. Let's type in, say, 85, and then type in 98. Press calculate. Now that line is highlighted blue. We are stopped at that line that I have a breakpoint on. You can see at the bottom, there's this nice debugging window that's opened up for us. I'll bring that code up a little bit so we can see. We have a navigation bar. We can resume the program. We can stop altogether. We can view all of our breakpoints. We can mute the breakpoints. By the way, notice how you can see the hotkeys for these right here. This is F9. This one is Control F2. That doesn't have one currently. You can set one and so forth. These are the current variables. To step through the code, we have these options here. This is the show the execution point. Step over with an F8 as the hotkey. This is step into with F7 as the hotkey. This is force a step into, Alt Shift F7. And this is step out of, Shift F8. So let's step through our code. I'll press step over. You can see the variables in that center section on the bottom. Step again. You can see the methods here off to the left. We'll cover this more in depth later. Step again. You'll notice that we have our first and second variables stored correctly. We step again. And our final integer has been stored in a result variable, and that value is 183. Step again. At this point, I'm pretty happy that this code is executing the way I expected it to. I'll just click Resume Program, and that'll complete the execution of that code.